Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, just get a sense that tension, stress, any worries are leaving your body in your outward breath. As you breathe in and breathe out, notice where in your body you feel any clues, echoes, sensations of stress. And as you exhale, make that breath longer out than it normally would be, and feel how good it feels to release that tension, letting it leave your body in your outward breath. As you breathe in and breathe out, notice that tension is leaving your neck and your shoulders, your eyes, your jaw, finding it easier to breathe in even deeper than you normally do. And as you exhale, feeling how good it feels to have a really deep outward breath. That's it. Giving permission to yourself to feel how good it feels to relax now. I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine a temple. And maybe it's a temple set in a rainforest, maybe in a city. Use the power of your imagination to think about that temple and to realize that what makes the temple appealing is the energetic connection between you and that temple. Imagine a place in that temple, a place of quiet meditation. Imagine perhaps positioning your body in a certain way that you can breathe in and breathe out and really feel that energetic connection of this wonderful temple that you're in. And sometimes it's useful to make analogies between buildings or objects and ourselves. Many people believe that their body is a temple. And by thinking of their body as a temple, what they're really saying isn't that it's a physical thing to be worshipped, but more that it is something to be respected, something to be treated in a way that is respectful to the people that have value in that temple. But a temple to one person is a home to another. And there are people that take pride in their homes. And there are others that couldn't care less. But I want your mind to create a connection between you and a building that you feel is useful to treat kindly, respectfully, because it's in your interest to do so. And not everyone does. There are people that stay in hotel rooms, and because it's not theirs, happy to spill things, be messy, damage things, steal things, because it's temporary. And there are people that treat their bodies in the same way. A temporary vehicle, like a car rental. Some people use their bodies simply as a way of extracting value from the world. Value can come from what you consume and what you experience. But I want you to think of the people that have an amazing relationship with their body. Isn't it true that they could eat whatever they want? They could choose to eat endless pizzas, gallons of fizzy drinks, and yet they don't. Not because they can't, not because they're not allowed to, but because they're taking pride in the body they have. As you breathe in and breathe out, I want you to start thinking of the things in your life you take most pride in, the things that you value the most. They could be things, they could be people, they could be anything. Perhaps you can imagine someone that has a pet that they truly love. There are some people that treat pets very badly, cruelly, harshly, and others that treat them with kindness and love and respect. Some people treat their homes like their own palace. And other people live in a slum of their own making. And as you breathe in and breathe out, I wonder what would happen if this idea of being good or bad went away. That rather than a switch to be good and a switch to be bad, there was just a choice to respect, to enjoy, to do good things for your body. Rather than what you can or can't have. What if you had a desire to do the very best for your body? To do the kind of things that your body would appreciate you for. As you breathe in and breathe out, feel like you're letting go of those old beliefs, perhaps learned many years ago. I call them rule-based beliefs. If X, then Y. Maybe there was a time in your life that you thought that if you're on a diet, it means you have to miss out on pleasure. And if you're not, you've got permission to do whatever you want, good and bad, naughty and nice. I want you to realize those ideas haven't been serving you, and in fact have been holding you back. I want you to think how ludicrous it would be to treat your home in a way where you would cause damage and pain, stains and mess, just because you didn't feel like you were in that period of your life where you were being good. All that would happen is that you would create problems in the present that you would have to solve in the future. I want you to think about What if there was a switch that meant you good and bad when it came to money? All that would happen is that if you were reckless with your financial decisions when you were bad, it would just cause problems for you. Days, weeks, or months later when you're trying to be good. I want you to accept the suggestion that this idea of good and bad isn't real. You're either helping or you're causing problems for the future. And I want you to think about your body and perhaps the problems that could be there in the future. If people are bad with their money, it can cause debt and stress. If people make unuseful choices with their food, it can cause sickness, illness, low energy, low confidence. As you breathe in and breathe out, I want you to imagine those switches of good and bad are gone for good. And instead, I want you to think of your body as something you want to do good things for. And I want you to imagine, just in your imagination, what represents good things. Good things could be eating nutritious food. But good things could be having some ice cream on a hot day. Good things could be having a donut while celebrating a moment with friends. I want you to get a sense that what could be good every now and then could be reckless if it's done too frequently. Alcohol isn't in and of itself good and bad. There are people that will celebrate on occasions or after a long week with a glass of wine. And there are people that the first thing they do when they wake up in the morning is to drink. I want you to get a sense that you have a desire to do good things for your body, useful things for your body, in the same way that you do useful things for your home. You do useful things for the people you care about. You don't try and be mean to the people you love the most just for a change, or just because you're feeling bad. I want you to unlock that part which has already been there all this time. A middle ground where there is nothing off limits. Simply choices. Unlocking a desire to make choices that feel good in the moment and that will feel good when you think about them later. And there's so many things that would do that. If eating a dessert would feel good in the moment and would feel good when you think about it a week later, then it's a good choice. And if eating some sweet potatoes with a delicious meal feels good while you're eating it, and when you think about it later that day, or the next day, or the day after that, then it was a good choice, a useful choice, a beneficial choice. And if your unconscious mind accepts that there is nothing off limits, just choices and consequences, let me know by nodding your head. And whether or not they're useful or not depends on the future that you want. A sumo wrestler might consider endlessly eating donuts to be useful for the body shape that they need. Someone trying to lose weight for a role in a movie might consider eating lots of salads and drinking lots of water useful for the character they're playing in that role. And I want you to think of a future that you would want for your body, maybe 6 or 12 months in the future. And therefore, the choices you make are either helpful or not helpful for that future version of you. And if you can see that future version of you, the future version of you that you desire the most, where you have that balance of health, energy, and confidence, that you feel that you look good wearing the kind of clothes you would want to at that weight. If you can see that version of you in the future, let me know by nodding your head. And therefore, allow your intuition to be activated as to what will take you either closer or further away from that version of you. Having the odd treat every now and then isn't going to get you closer, but it won't make you further away. Binging on crap day after day will make you further away. And eating lots of delicious, healthy, nutritious foods will get you closer. Drinking lots of water will get you closer. Eating lots of processed food or processed drinks will make you further away. They're not good or bad, it's just useful or not so useful depending on the future that you desire. And if your unconscious mind feels like it knows what that balance is, where you're doing good things for yourself to take you towards a desirable future, let me know by nodding your head. And then find yourself back there in that temple, realizing that your body can be a temple, a home. It can be a vehicle. It can be a destination. Your body can be whatever you want it to be. Some people treat their body like it's a rubbish bin. Put any old crap in and just deal with it later. Other people value their body like some people value their home. They want it to look nice. They want to enjoy it while they have it. And you are opening up ways of thinking about your body to make good, useful, helpful decisions. Effortless, enjoyable, and intuitive. Imagine leaving that temple, feeling a better connection with your own body, and feeling that choices become aligned with the body you have and the body you desire. And in most areas of your life, you learn as you go along. If you spend too much money on one day, you don't put yourself on a financial diet. You just learn from that and make better choices in the future. If you invite someone in your home and they're rude, disrespectful, or make a mess, maybe you wouldn't invite them back in the future. I want you to get a sense that you learn through experience, and when you know better, you do better. And from this point forward, your body is no different. When you let go of what's good and bad, you become more aware, increasing your sensory acuity for what feels like it's taking you forward, what's helping, what's actually enjoyable, and what you truly want. Hold on to those feelings, then return to the present. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Get a sense that all parts are now in the present, feeling that you've activated a relationship with your body that you had a long time ago, and you're glad to have it back, like an old friendship, rekindled, reconnected. Not about good or bad, just about treating your own body in a way that you would want it to be treated. Counting from 1 to 10 to awaken you, you will awaken feeling optimistic, aligned, keen to make good choices, not because you have to, but because you want to. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.